dictatorship where majority opinions are crushed. He goes on to write, Britain's deranged war on cars, our looming ban on gas boilers, the debanking scandal, the failure to prosecute crime, the attempted cancellation of women, the sabotage of the Brexit agenda, the scale of migration. Welcome to anti-democratic Britain, where the beleaguered majority is increasingly subject to the whims of an entitled activist elite that often seems to despise the people over which it exercises so much power. Well, if this is true and continues, will there be an uprising even bigger than Brexit, as suggested by Heath in his article? Let's put that to tonight's newsmaker, former government minister, best-selling author and television personality Anne Widdecombe. Anne, is Britain now run by a woke autocratic elite out of touch with the public?
Oh, yes, I don't think there can be any doubt about that at all. I mean, when they pass the laws that they've passed for net zero, one does wonder, if they can even find their boiler, if they even know where it is. They're apparently so detached from the economies and concerns of ordinary people. So, yes, I think they're very detached. Now, the question is, will there be a revolt against that at the next general election, which is when, the next democratic test is going to take place on any scale? Now, there should be. And it's really down to individual courage. I'm saying to people at the moment, look, if you've had enough, if you really had enough, then vote for change. Because if you don't, you're going to get more of the same. Now, I think that in 2019, that was quite a difficult message to get across because you had Jeremy Corbyn, who scared people witless. So they didn't dare to vote for a third party, because if they did, they might let Corbyn in. That doesn't apply this time. You've got an extremely weak and feeble, undefined almost, Keir Starmer. It's very difficult to know what he thinks and what his principles are, because he tells us something different every 5 minutes. But people aren't scared by him in the way that they were scared by Corbyn. So this might be the right time to say, look, if you've really had enough of this, if you want to see immigration under control, if you want to see Brexit implemented, and if you want to see shoplifters prosecuted, then you've just got to do away with those who are failing to do that, and in their place put a party that would. And that's why I've joined Reform. I didn't join Reform immediately after it ceased to be the Brexit Party, because I wasn't sure. I'm now very sure that I cannot trust the major parties to do anything that the nation wants.
But Anne, sorry to interrupt you, apologies, Anne, how does somebody like the leader of Reform UK or the leader of UKIP, Neil Hamilton, who's with us tonight, how do they create and produce that Brexit moment? Because our electoral system is stacked against them. When will this political revolution come?
It will come when people have had more than they can take. And that's what happened with Brexit and the European elections. And OK, it was run to a different system. But the fact is that the Brexit Party swept the board and demolished the other parties. Now, partly people dared to do that because, after all, this was the European Parliament. It wasn't Westminster, so probably safe to do that. But also, people just wanted to scream one word: enough. We've had enough. And I think that is there at the moment. I'm finding it everywhere I go. People are saying to me they may well not vote for the party they voted for all their lives. Usually that's the Tory party, but I've heard it from Labour people as well. People want change. You'll only get change if you vote for it. You can't sit there and say, I want change, and then vote to keep the same thing and expect change to happen, because it won't. It won't. And in exactly the same way that when people moan about the demise of Christianity in this country, I say, well, that's down to Christians. It's down